here we have some metals. The three characteristics I want to point out to you as we look at these metals. One is that they're shiny. Okay, once they're polished, they will be shiny anyway. Okay, and like I said, these are metals. Another thing is that they're malleable, which means that you're able to bend them. And if I take aluminum here, you can see that very easily I can bend this piece of aluminum. Okay, that's called malleable. Alright. Also, notice that they've been pressed into kind of thin sheets. They wasn't found in nature like this, okay? And that's the second part of malleable, that it's bendable and able to be pressed into thin sheets, okay? So that is a good visual of what malleable means. Okay, another one is that they can be ductile, and ductile means that they can actually be pulled into wire. Okay, this is some copper wiring, okay, and of course you can see that they've taken copper and put it into wire form. Okay, that is called ductile. Okay, so for metals, three things you need to remember. Oh, I forgot one big one. All of these can conduct electricity, okay, and heat. Alright, so both of these can conduct electricity. That means electricity will flow through them, and also heat as well. Okay, that's the reason, like, for example, when I mean flow through, you wouldn't want to stick a bobby pin into a light socket, right? Okay, that thing is very conductive, which means it's going to let the electricity flow through to you, okay, which is totally unsafe, but that's an example of what I mean by conductive, okay? Your pots at home, made of metals, because if not, they wouldn't allow whatever's in your pot to get warm, okay, because heat has to conduct through it. Okay, now that is metals. Let's look at non-metals. Okay, some characteristics of non-metals. Okay, here is a non-metal. Okay, that's just a piece of charcoal, and here is sulfur, and if you look on the periodic table, you'll see that is to the right of the zigzag line, excuse me, and that's also a non-metal. Okay, characteristics of non-metals is they're not shiny. Okay, you see both of these are dull. That one is definitely not shiny. They are brittle in that they are not ductile or malleable. Sorry, taking me a little while with this cold. Okay, so you can see brittle, dull, and you can see here if I took a hammer to one of these little pieces, it's just going to crack into 100 different little pieces. Okay, so that is a characteristic of non-metals. Also, they do not conduct electricity nor heat. Okay, all right. The next group we're going to talk about is metalloids. Metalloids are called semiconductors, and this is a piece of silicon, both of them here that we're looking at. You can see that it is shiny and it is reflective, okay? So that gives us a characteristic of what? Of a metal, alright? But if you see, I wish it would clear up a little bit here for you. I'm trying to paint it in the right place. You can see that it doesn't break very nicely, and if it's hit by something, it's just going to shatter like a non-metal, okay? And that's the reason why we say that metalloids, many of them have characteristics of both metals and non-metals, and that's the reason why they're placed along that zigzag line, and we call those metalloids.